How's it going, YouTube and all the ISF fans out there? This is Top 23, and I am here with the coach of the Cincinnati Regigigas, Damon, who he won against Boo in his Week 3 matchup. Say hello.
Oh, hi. Wait. Sorry, I messed it up. Hello. Hello. All right, I'm good.
Oh my god. Alright, so you won against...
Yay, I'm back.
This is the second, freaking fourth wall, this is the second interview we recorded this week. His last week's battle sort of went up a little late, so luckily this one's gonna go up roughly around the time it should, so...
Still a little bit late.
Saturday is okay because I get all the battles by Friday at the latest.
hmm
So if people haven't had the battle by Friday, they probably won't do the interview till Saturday, and so we'll just go from there. Um, uh,
All right, let's walk back through that fourth wall.
yeah. All right. Let's just go back to it. Sorry, I was getting distracted by Skype. All right. So let's talk about your team matchup. You brought Mega Scizor, Rotom H, well, not Rotom H, Rotom Wash, Hulucha, Porygon Z, Garchomp, and Gardevoir.
All right, so looking at Boo's team, I mean, no offense to like Boo, I know he didn't get a chance to draft, but this was one of the least threatening teams to my team, at least going in so far. The only real problem with it is that Superior could not do anything this match. Stab Leaf Storm only hit like I think it was two or three of the mons on his team for neutral stab damage. None for one for super effective, the Mega Blastoise, which he didn't end up bringing, so it would have been useless. But I mean, looking at his team, I think five out of the six mons resist my stab Leaf Storm. There was absolutely no reason to bring Superior, and I mean, I'm fine with it, but I started looking at it, I was like, dang.
Yeah, his team matchup, like the team that he did bring, I see one, two, three, four mons that would pretty much destroy Superior. And
Yeah.
then Primate, like you told me off screen, was Choice Scarfed, so it would have outsped Superior and could have done a lot of damage to it. So it's like Superior just would not have had a good
Mhm.
matchup at all.
And I can only run one hidden power. I mean, I run hidden power Ice Edge, Dragonite, and Zapdos, but then, I mean, Weavile could probably eat that up. Emboar can definitely eat that up.
Dragonite could
Plus,
definitely eat that up.
I mean, with a multi-scale. Without a multi-scale, or, because, I mean, if I use a Leaf Storm to break the multi-scale, but that's just hypothetical. We're getting off track.
Yeah.
All right.
So go ahead and
So,
talk about the mons you actually did bring.
so when I realized that when I looked at I couldn't bring Superior, I looked around. I needed something that could kind of replace like a special sweeper, and I didn't really get that. So what I wanted was then physical coverage. As you can see by the first three mons, kind of I brought were physical. So Mega Scizor, the priority is really useful in this. He hits most of the mons on my opponent's team for neutral damage, and he did bring sort of a he did bring a team that counters it well with it being resisted by by a few of them, but a bullet punch still OHKOs a Weavile. I know I'm not going to outspeed it, but two ice shards doesn't KO with the max HP that I ran. So this thing could kind of check Weavile, and I wasn't actually too worried about Weavile, even with the big ice weakness that I drafted. And, maybe that's a mistake, underestimating the GBA god or whatever, but I mean, Rotom Wash can kind of take what he needs to. I have Mons to kind of come in and take a hit and revenge kill if it decides to stay in. And so I think I handled it pretty well. And maybe if he had used it a little bit more, it might have changed the outcome, but I
Well, we're
thought
not
I
gonna
was
talk
all
about the
right.
outcome yet until we get to the end of the battle.
Well, okay.
Let's keep.
Weavile might have gotten a few more kills. So, so all right. So to kind of couple up with Scizor, I brought a Hawlucha, and this time it was a Sky Attack Power Hawlucha because I wanted to originally bring Sub, Swords Dance, Citrus Berry, two attacking moves. Kind of a typical Hawlucha you'd see in typical play. But I realized that like I need the Unburden boost. Like as soon as I come in, I need to be able to use Acrobatics when I come in automatically with no item
Hmm.
because if I'm not using Acrobatics or Sky Herb, there's like really no strong flying attack move that'll work. and I mean I need flying. He brought 2 fighting types. You can see it works, and it hits a Dragonite for neutral, which otherwise would be like a do nothing high jump kick.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to get rid of my item immediately, and that would be the Sky Attack Power Herb. And the other plus to that was that the Sky Attack did more damage immediately to other mons. So I didn't have to try and set up with like a sub. Like so, first week I got kind of lucky with Hayden going for the Will Wisp when I went for my sub, but
Mm-hmm.
against Boo's team there wasn't much I could come in and really force a switch out without being max speed and having that mon extremely weakened, and him wanting to preserve that mon. That was just way too specific for me to try and
Mm-hmm.
go through with.
That
So I
makes
wanted the
sense.
sky. So I wanted the power herb sky attack. I'm not sure if he would expect it or not, but it would do massive damage to something.
Yeah. No matter if, whether resisted or not, it'll still do massive damage.
Hmm. All right. So quickly through the rest. Garchomp is there as a utility mon, and I believe it was all. Yes, I also scarfed the Garchomp just to kind of deal some damage. So it was actually a scarfed stealth rock because the stealth rock hit the Zapdos. Mm, excuse me. It hit the Zapdos and the Dragonite and the Weavile. Well, a lot of other things, but mainly the Weavile, Zapdos, and Dragonite. Taking away Dragonite's multi-scale, taking away any focus sash the Weavile might be carrying, and dealing damage to the and dealing 25% of the Zapdos each time it comes in to wall something that I
Mm-hmm.
have. Because if I can get rid of a sash, my Scizor can completely handle Weavile. Anything really anything that has a strong attack can kind of handle Dragonite as long as I don't let it set up too much. And with the Zapdos, I know it's not going to be too offensive, and I was really worried about the Zapdos because it can wall a lot of the things on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I could carry Stone Edge on a few of the physical mons you see, but running the Calculus, a physically defensive Zapdos, it would eat those hits up for days and deal massive damage with, HP Ice to the Garchomp or Thunderbolt or whatever it decides to do to the Scizor and Hawlucha or any other special attacking mon that I had. And so getting those stealth rocks up kind of cripples it and it forces it to stay in on something that it doesn't have the best matchup against
Mm-hmm.
because it wouldn't work. It would come in without enough HP to do anything, or basically forcing it to have not enough HP to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So Scarf Garchomp with stealth rocks for utility. The Rotom Wash was here to just kind of it was just there to kind of stall out what it really needed to stall out, and maybe and so it had Thunderbolt. I brought the Pain Split, and you'll see if that works or not. But just in case, I can catch on a switch. I bring it in on a lowered HP, Weavile or something that I know that he knows will take a hit and then KO back, and he decides to switch out. I can get my HP back if I need to, and continue to stall because otherwise, besides leftovers, Rotom has no real reliable way of recovery or Citrus Berry if you want to run that. And then, all right. So then, still looking at the Zapdos, I needed something, and I needed something from the special attacking side because I realized when I was building my team, I had 3 physical attackers right there, and I needed some special so I didn't get walled by the physically defensive Zapdos. And so I'm looking through, and I look at Porygon Z, and I'm thinking that he has a lot of moves. So I go look, and he has lots of moves. So I put Wide Lens so he doesn't miss, and he has Blizzard, Thunder, Shadow Ball, and Tri Attack.
Of course, you run the wide lens set. Oh my god.
Hmm. Yeah, but so Blizzard obvious. It hits the Dragonite, the Zapdos, and a few other things. The Shadow Balls that I ran on Rotom Wash and Porygon Z were to take down the Reuniclus if it decided to be especially bulky set and kind of try and come in. I mean, if it had Calm Minds, it wouldn't do too. It might get a kill, but I had physically I mean, Garchomp could easily come in, revenge kill it, or the Sky Attack Power or Pawlucia, so I wasn't too worried about it calm minding. The Thunder, I don't think he ended up bringing it. It was for the Mega Blast. Yeah, it was for the Mega Blastoise because I was also kind of worried about that. And those are basically the 2 biggest things I was worried about: Zapdos and Blastoise. And one mon over here can hit both for giant, super effective damage. It outspeeds both if they're not fully invested.
Mm-hmm.
And It had a lot, and it had utility moves as well to kind of hit what else it needed to hit. And then finally, Gardevoir here, more of a utility mon, moves it need to have, trace such as Fairy with Moonblast, Psychic Focus Blast, and my final move was something a little bit special for something that I realized I hadn't planned too well for. I was carrying Taunt for the Clef Key because I looked at it and I didn't have a reliable spinner. I had Defogger and Scizor, and I didn't want to have to use Defog once I got my Stealth Rocks up. And so I figured if I could play it right, I could taunt and effectively cripple that Clef Key and not allow it to set up any of the fun 3 layers of spikes or get off all the fun T waves that it likes to do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's definitely a good thing there. Because with you able to trace the prankster, it's definitely gonna come in handy where you're able to get around that whole prankster just let
Mm-hmm.
me do everything before you type of deal. So, because I was watching your battle, I was like, wait, why'd that go first? Oh, right, Trace. I completely forgot about Trace on Gardevoir. So that was
So,
definitely interesting thing there. So when looking at his team, what did you fear the most?
so when he came into this, I think he was kind of utilizing the lineup. Um, so I do that as well, but the lineup of which Pokemon your opponent sees first. So I see the Emboar first, and I think, oh, he wants that from Mega Scizor, and so I immediately want to open that calc, and that'll come in handy later. And he has a Weavile right there again. Not too worried about Klefki. I'm right. All right, so I'm going to consider that for Gardevoir. Dragonite. I expected that Zapdos, and then Primeape. And it kind of worked. I paid absolutely no attention to Primeape. I mean, I know it hits Porygon Z for super effective, but Gardevoir 4 times resists the stab. Garchomp can eat up one single hit. Um, I didn't know it was Scarfed at the time, so I thought my Hawlucha would outspeed and KO with whatever Sky Attack or Acrobatics it needs to do. And a Bullet Punch would do a good amount as well, so not really too much of a threat. So I honestly wasn't paying that much attention. I was really looking at what am I going to open up with because if I opened up Gardevoir and he didn't open up Klefki, I was basically in a bad position because I mean, if you had any other offensive mon out there, a knockoff from Weavile would do huge damage.
Mm-hmm.
The Emboar, if it was Scarf, could do huge damage with the Flare Blitz, and the Zapdos could eat up any of my hits. The Dragonite would have multi-scale since my rocks weren't up, and it could take up a Moonblast, set up whatever D-Dance or Swords Dance it wanted to, and proceed to KO with extreme speed or some other coverage move that I have no idea if he was bringing or not. And so, even with those risks, I don't want any spikes on my team, so I decided to open up Gardevoir, and that kind of segues into the match.
Alright, so let's good segue there. Let's get ahead to get into the match. We are running on normal speed, so everyone knows. So you led off with Gardevoir, and he brought in the Klefki. You went for the
Mm.
taunt, like we were talking about before, and stopped him from setting up a T wave on the Gardevoir, which I mean, Gardevoir's not the fastest thing in the world, so I don't know how much it really would have affected it really much.
Mm-hmm.
But then you went for the Shadow Ball and got the special attack drop on the Zapdos, which I guess is alright.
I mean, I think the hacks will balance out a little bit later. So I go out into Rotom and eats up a Thunderbolt from the Zapdos, exactly what I needed it to do. And it wouldn't have eaten it up as well without the special attack drop, but
It
honestly,
probably would have been closer to 50% if it wasn't for that special
bam.
attack drop. But you got the poison off and you missed the Will-O-Wisp, which sort of sucked.
Yeah, that's kind of where it evens out. The residual damage would have been wonderful in the Zapdos getting rid of the leftovers. I just go for it again, and he switches out in the Klefki. A pretty good plan on his part. And so
He
I
starts setting
don't
up
want to.
screens.
Yeah. So I don't want to. I don't want to leave the Rotom in too much, but I wasn't sure if he was going to set up screens.
Mm-hmm.
So I see the light screen, and I think, all right, I gotta get these down. So I go out into Scizor. And he goes for the flex. Probably thinks he's in a great position. Eat up a bullet punch, do whatever he needs to. So he goes for the Thunder Wave, and his screens are gone. All of Klefki's precious work is just gone. So he
Yeah.
goes and sets up one layer of spikes as kind of a see ya bullet punch down. Mm. So here I ran a calc. Bullet punch didn't do anything to the Emboar. So I'm going to switch out. he didn't. My Rotom did not eat up that superpower at all. I thought he was going to go for a fighting attack move. Good prediction on his part.
Hmm.
And then the pain split.
Yeah, if he went for a fighting type move, it probably would have done enough to take you
I,
out.
I'm not sure why. I think he thought the Rotom was more offensive, would outspeed and kill. Hence why the superpower did a lot. But
I mean,
I don't
I
know.
think this one you said was especially bulky, so it would eat
Yeah,
up a physical hit just fine. I mean, it wouldn't eat up a physical hit; it would eat up a special hit better. And you brought in the
yeah.
Porygon Z. Didn't really eat up the Thunderbolt too well.
No,
Um,
but I know it's going to outspeed. Blizzard, I knew it was a KO. Plus, I had the special attack drop from, I forget what the ability is called. But, so in comes the Weavile, and I switch out into my Scizor. He goes for the knockoff. I can eat that up just fine.
yeah, good prediction on your part.
He goes out into the Emboar, and I switch right back out into the Porygon Z. Because honestly, this thing has taken out what it needs to take out. I'm okay with it going down, and that'll give me switch initiative into the Emboar.
Yeah, so you brought in the Garchomp, which you saw the Stealth Rocks just fine.
I
You,
thought he was going to switch out here. It does massive damage, and I know he takes rough skin and he gets the attack defense drop, but it's not worth it. So, risky prediction: go back out into the Scizor when he goes for the superpower. Thankfully, so here I run a calc, and I know that Bullet Punch will take him out from this range with the drops,
hmm
and so I guess Scizor gets a kill. Emboar is down, so Scizor I know has done his job. I get paralyzed. Doesn't matter too much to me. Dragonite kills with a fire punch,
You
and
would have
so
you probably would have outsped, probably just got extra damage off on it. But yeah,
I mean, I went for bullet punch, so it might have done more damage. But honestly, I mean, Garchomp just comes in, it's scarfed, outspeeds, and Dragon Claws it down.
yeah.
Here, I'm okay with it going down because that'll give me initiative in to the Weavile.
And then you went into Gardevoir, which you live with an icicle crash just fine. A good thing you
Yeah.
didn't flinch, because if it flinched, I would have shocked.
Oh yeah. We saw that in week 2, but I knew I could eat up a hit, and it was just in case he decided to switch out into anything. So he goes into the Primeape, and here's kind of the why Primeape existed: the gunk shot.
You said off screen that he was choice scarfed, so I mean that's a big deal.
He sped up. He
And
misses this skunk shot, but we did the calc. It wouldn't have done that much. I go for the sky attack just because I know it'll do more damage because I haven't lost my attacking my item yet. So that gets me the nice clean 2-0 again.
yeah, so I mean that wasn't too bad. 2-0 victory over Boo. I mean it was definitely good for you. You are now what is? I
3-0
You are
with
3 and 0.
a +5.
You're one of two teams right now that are currently 3 and 0 in the league.
The other being Xavier, and me and Xavier never battled once in this league.
Yep, and
Who
I
made the schedule again?
blame Hayden for that one. Coach of the Calgary Flamethrowers. Blame him for the
I
schedule.
swear. It's the silver division and the what is it called? Silver and blue division. The Higher Florida Free Alligators, me and the Cincinnati Regigigas, and Hayden with Calgary Flamethrowers. We never battle Burke with the Patch Rats, Xavier with the Victory Stars, or Oz with the Panseers. And that is honestly the most disappointing thing to me because I would love to see these two divisions go at it. I mean, I don't want to like take anything away, but from the other divisions, but looking at the records, those are kind of the I would say that they have some of the more powerful people, and I would love to see like who comes out on top.
I mean
Hayden
that's
versus Burke in the actual match. I know we did a practice match off. They had a for fun match off screen kind of.
but hey, that's what the playoffs are for, and that's what the championship is for. Both of those guys who make it to the championship will finally be able to see that match into fruition. And hey, don't hate on the other divisions, all right? All right, I'm in one of those divisions.
Oh yeah, but no, no, I love my match against Tom, and I love my matches against the Gold Division.
Well,
Um,
I'm unfortunately in the red division, which right now I think is the worst division out there. But I'm not gonna talk about that. Um,
I mean,
that's a whole nother discussion for another day. But
I don't think you can categorize divisions being better or worse based on the records because, like, I mean, with Hayden, like, I won over him and he has a higher differential than me, even after I beat him because I've gotten low differentials, even though I have a better record and everything. And so, can you really say that Hayden or I is better than me based on, like, records or stats or anything? And then, I mean, if you compare the other divisions, we haven't played most of the people yet. Like, I've played one person from red, one from silver, one from gold. And same with everyone else in the silver. And so you can't really compare that yet.
No, yeah, that's why it's only week 3, and we have plenty more weeks to come to see what the rest of the season's gonna hold. So,
Mm.
but with that, I want to thank Damon for coming out for another interview this week, and
You're welcome.
we will see you all in the next video.